Being courageous means one thing and one thing only. It means stepping into your masculinity, doing what you fear, even when you fear it. Then after you do it, you get the courage to do it again and again and again. That's courage. That is masculinity. That is inside you, brother. So embrace that warrior within.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
What is up, gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. And today, boys, we are going to talk about how you as a man gives you a birthright to be the protector, to be the provider, to be the courageous soul that you were incarnated into this world to be, to protect and serve your community as well as the women in your life. And gentlemen, this is going to be a podcast about overcoming your fear, about stepping into what you naturally are, and about becoming the most attractive version possible to women, because this essentially is what women want, because this is essentially what masculinity is. The reason I'm recording this episode is because by the time you listen to this, Hurricane Milton will be landing in Florida. One of my coaches who works in my coaching program, his name is Dano, and I want to give a shout out to Dano because he's in Tampa, Florida right now, very close to the coast. He's in a situation where a Category 5 hurricane is about to hit, projected winds of 180 miles per hour, and he's stuck there. He couldn't get out. There was a lot of traffic, so they're sheltering in place. He's going to be in his home with his woman, and this is the last text that I just sent him. I said, well, man, now is the time to step into your silverback role. Focus on protecting your girl, protecting your community. The more you can stay in your masculinity and testosterone, the less fear will cause you to make irrational decisions. Be proactive, solution-oriented, and trust your masculine instincts. I'll be mentioning you on my podcast tomorrow morning to hopefully get a collection of men to send you good vibes. Don't forget, you are a fucking warrior. And now is the time to step into that role. Don't let her see you scared. Protect her, love her, and only focus on that. Good luck. So that was the last text I sent to him. He did reply. He's like, thanks, man. I'm already doing that. I've boarded up our entire house, and he's ready to protect his woman, because that, gentleman, is our job as men. I don't know about you, but some of the most courageous times I've ever had in my life is when I was in protector mode. Why is that? First of all, as men, we are anthropologically designed to protect our tribe, to protect our community, to protect our women, and more importantly, to protect our children. You have something within you called testosterone. When you are highly in your testosterone, you cannot feel fear. This is why ancient armies would get themselves super pumped up before they went into war. The more pumped up you could get, the more you can step into that protector role, and the less that you dwell on the fears within you, the more you will become that warrior that all of you have within you, and the more able you will be to protect your community, your girl, your children, etc. This is naturally attractive to women because masculinity is designed to protect. I don't know about you guys, but every time I had a girl that I loved, I almost looked at my hands and I was like, dude, these hands are here to protect her. I looked at our situation and I would always think about, how could she possibly get hurt? What would I need to do to protect her? I don't know about you, man, but my masculine instincts always kick in. I don't want my back to doors in restaurants. I'm always looking for exits just in case an active shooter pops off and I have to rescue my family. When I'm driving with my kid in the car, I make sure her safety belt is connected as securely as possible. I always make sure the car seats are secure. Before we go to bed at night, I'm the head of security. I check the entire house, lock all the doors, make sure the lights are on the outside, which, by the way, if you go to sleep with all your lights off, bad idea, brothers. You should have a light on in some respect, even if you just have an apartment and all you could do is light the balcony. When you have lights on outside your house, it deters possible thieves from breaking into your house because they feel like you can see them. This is something that you should be consistently thinking about. How can I serve? How can I protect? How can I step into that masculine role of being a warrior? Because you have a warrior inside of you. It's how you were born. And this is what I love about boys. This is what I love about masculinity. Recently, there's been some threats made against my little girl's school. A guy literally wrote in to Jeffco Schools, and Jeffco is Jeffco County here in Colorado, literally wrote into Jeffco Schools and said, I'm going to pull the fire alarms, and when all the kids run out, I'm going to mow them down with my machine gun. What kind of sick motherfucker would ever do that talking about killing children? So me as a little girl's father takes solace in the fact that there are men in that school. There are boys in that school. Yes, even boys 11 years old and younger who can protect her. It makes me think about the boy in Wyoming who, when his little sister got attacked by a pit bull, he grabbed that fucking dog. The dog started attacking him, ripped his face apart, but he saved his little sister's life because that's what a man is supposed to do. So I want to ask you, brother, how are you stepping into your masculine role? Do you feel that you can protect a woman? When you look at your hands, do you say to yourself, these hands can protect my girl, can protect my family? If you were to be in a situation like our boy Dano is in, how would you handle it? Would you cower in the basement with your girl telling her how scared you are? Or would you button up that fucking house the way Dano did, said, baby, I got this one. We are going to shelter in place and I will protect you. The reason I told Dano to focus on only protecting his woman and to get deep into his masculine role is because the mind has many rooms. Some of those rooms you just shouldn't enter. And one of those rooms is fear, postulating on what can go wrong. Driving a car and looking out the windshield, but constantly looking in the rearview mirror about what is chasing you. A masculine man doesn't do that. He is towards oriented. He focuses on what can go right. He focuses on solutions. And yeah, he's peripherally aware of what could go wrong, but he doesn't focus on it. So as our boy Dano is buttoned down literally as we're listening to this because Hurricane Milton is going to hit Thursday morning, send him vibes of staying in that masculine energy, protecting his woman, protecting his community, getting completely and utterly solution oriented, looking at his hands, seeing the calluses of masculine hard work and asking himself time and again, how can I protect this girl? Because I'm going to tell you something else, gentlemen. Women are attracted to masculine men. And let me ask you this. Do masculine men cry in the laps of their women when they're scared? Do masculine men go to women with their problems? Hell no. In fact, if you go to a woman with your problems, complaining about your fears, admitting to her all those things you're scared of, she is going to lose attraction for you. Now, that may beg the question, well, Mark, what if I'm not honest with her? What if I really am scared? Shouldn't I tell her that? No, you shouldn't. Your problems, your demons, your traumas, those are meant for your coach. Those are meant for your mentor. Those are meant for me, brother, when you come into this 3-month coaching program, because I can handle it. And I'm going to create for you an NLP protocol to tackle those kinds of issues. And you're going to get to meet with a champion like Dano, a silverback, an alpha male who has stepped into his own courage and understands that if you show women weakness, they will lose any and all attraction for you. Some women may be listening and being like, oh, that's bullshit. I have guys that cry in my lap all the time. And yes, their tears were used as lubricant for sex. I'm calling bullshit on you. Yes, a man can be vulnerable, but the essence of vulnerability is I'm scared in this situation, but I'm going to overcome it, just like our boy Dano is doing. So I want to ask you yet again, brother, how are you cowering? Are you stepping into that courageous warrior role? If you were an 11-year-old boy and you had my 5-year-old daughter in the classroom and there was an active shooter, would you jump on her to protect her? Would you embrace the warrior within you and die as a fucking hero? Or would you run like a coward runs? The ancient Celtics used to put one thing on their tombstones. He didn't run. That's all it said. Because think about that, gentlemen. Think about facing a war with shields, spears, and swords, where your literal arm can get lopped off, or you see people dying on the ground with their insides opened up, the smell of shit, piss, blood, and fear. Are you able to overcome that by stepping into your masculinity? In one of the greatest books ever written, called Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield, he talked about the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae. This is, in my opinion, the single best fiction book ever written because it captures the essence of what it means to be a warrior. And this is one of the things it says. The warrior doesn't train to fight the enemy. He trains to fight the enemy within himself. Fear, greed, gluttony, cowardice, all these things that the warrior overcomes in order to prepare for war are actually overcome to fight the enemy within yourself. So as Dano, literally as we talk right now, is buttoned down protecting his woman, he can't think about what's going to go wrong. What if the roof gets ripped off? What if a tree falls on our house? What if this entire fucking house just disappears into hyperspace? He can't think about that. He has to think about solutions. If this happens, what am I going to do? If she gets scared, what am I going to say? If I get scared, how am I going to get back into my masculine energy to re-access that courage that is naturally within me? Because I'll tell you what, brothers, each of you as a man has a birthright. You have a birthright of courage. You have a birthright to protect. You have a birthright to overcome every single fucking fear you have within you, and that is done through your masculinity. The best thing you can do when you're scared is to get highly into your testosterone. Listen to music that pumps you up. Do push-ups. Think about solutions. Think about protecting women. And when you're approaching a woman, the last thing you want to be is scared, because women find cowardice absolutely repulsive. So if you're looking at a woman and you fail to approach her, what does that communicate to her? That communicates this guy is a coward. He's not able to step into his masculine energy and overcome the fear to even approach me. Little old me, I'm just a tiny little girl over here and this guy's scared of me. He won't be able to protect me. He won't be able to provide for our family, and he definitely won't be able to protect our children, so I'm not attracted to that guy. Being courageous means one thing and one thing only. It means stepping into your masculinity, doing what you fear even when you fear it, and realizing courage does not come before you do the thing. It comes after you do the thing, such as jumping off a big bridge. Don't think about it, just jump. Then after you do it, you get the courage to do it again and again and again. That's courage. That is masculinity. That is inside you, brother. So embrace that warrior within. And please send my boy Dano your best wishes. Send that energy to him, and more specifically his woman and his community, of your own masculine instinct to protect, because I too believe that that makes a difference. But gentlemen, this is the unapologetic army. Unapologetic about being a man. Unapologetic about having testosterone within us. Unapologetic about being the protector and wanting women to be in their feminine energy so that we can protect them. Unapologetic about wanting to kill any motherfucker that would threaten a school like that one scumbag did to my daughter's school, and knowing that that heart that beats within you, that heart of a lion, is your birthright. So step into it. Overcome your fears by stepping into your masculinity. Don't show women that you're scared. Protect them, provide over them, and show them that you as a man have the wherewithal within you, the tools, the discipline, the resources to get through any challenge, no matter how difficult. So to all my Florida brothers going through this hurricane, you are the protector. Protect your community, protect your women, protect the children, and we will get through this together. So once again, gentlemen, send my boy Dano those best wishes. Send that warrior, your own warrior spirit, to pump him up, to build him up. Don't be like, I hope you don't get hurt. Be like, dude, I hope you save the entire fucking city. I hope that you rise above any kind of fear. Protect that woman. Make her even more attracted to you. Be some unbelievable hero in some crazy situation where you save all the women, all the children, because that's your birthright as a man. And if you guys want to meet this man, Dano, yourself, he'll be back in the trenches with us, fighting shoulder to shoulder as the warriors we are. And these are the kinds of guys that you get access to when you come into my coaching program. You get me, you get Dano, you get Austin, you get Shane, you get all the tier 1 guys that have ever come down to my coaching program who have faced their fear like a fucking man, just like you have to do to get to the next best version of yourself. So embrace that warrior within you, gentlemen. You are a Spartan, cloaked in red and bronze, and the best way to step into your courage is to think about protecting those next to you. That is the secret. Gentlemen, I got a really interesting one about P. Diddy dropping on Monday. I really like this one. It's going to be really funny. It's going to be really informative. And it's actually going to talk about a secret that nobody is talking about in media right now that I really want you guys to hear. So stay tuned on Monday. Have a great weekend, gentlemen. And once again, pray for Florida. And if you have the means to help out in any way whatsoever, whether with your manpower, with making a donation, or whatever it might be, both myself as well as Dano and his community would greatly appreciate that. Dano, you got this one, brother, and we are all fucking proud of you. Keep that warrior spirit, gentlemen. Face your fucking fears, and I will see you in the next episode.